Welcome to the California College of Arts and the 2017 Queers and Comics Conference. My name is Matt Sility. I chair the comics program, our graduate comics program here at California. Thank you. And we do a lot of readings and public lectures, and one of the things I like to do right off the bat is find out who is here at the California College of the Arts for the first time. So if you're here, raise your hand. Oh my, that's amazing. So to all of you, I say welcome. And I say that hopefully not just like as a hi, but this is our home. This is where we spend our time. This is where we do our work, our deep thinking about all the important things in the world. And we're opening the doors to you. And we want you to know that you are truly welcome here. So thank you so much for everybody who traveled and came in for the conference. I'm going to pass things over to Jen and Justin here in just a moment. But first, there's a couple thank yous I need to give. One, several years ago when Jen and Justin suggested that maybe California College of the Arts could host this event, we went to the provost at that time, Melanie Korn, and said, hey, so we're thinking about having this thing, and it's going to be queer, and there's going to be comics, and then she said, yes, we'll do it, yes. And from that moment all the way through now, CCA has been so supportive of this event. You're going to meet our new provost, Tammy Ray Carlin, tonight at the keynote. But I also wanted to thank Juvenal Acosta, who's our dean of H&S, and then all of these other programs at CCA. I don't know if you know this, but they all donated to this event. They took money from their budgets and gave it to us, whether they're directly involved or they're just saying we support what you're doing. So that was really special. I also really want to thank Maya Lawrence. So you might have met Maya on the way in. I don't think she's here right now because she's still working the table. Maya is our program manager and has been behind the scenes making sure all the logistics come together. So if you need anything throughout the weekend, make sure to track down Maya or me, and we'll make sure you get to where you need to go or get what you need or the information you need, because we want the time you spend here for the next 2 days to be really a positive experience. So with that, thank you so much. And I think Justin? All right. And so I don't need to really introduce Justin Hall, do I? All right, Justin Hall.
I want an introduction. God.
Isn't he the cutest little thing you
ever saw? Come on.
Welcome to San Francisco.
Yes.
I just want to say that thank you to CCA. They have been the hostess with the mostest. They are so sweet and nice and wonderful. You know, we're New Yorkers. We're not used to all this.
Jen said when she came in here, she saw a lactation room and a meditation room at CCA, and she was like, we would have the shooting and stabbing room in New York. So.
And it would be full. You know, when we did the first conference in 2015, that was really going to be it. And it was such a huge fucking success that here we all are. And I just want to thank everybody who made it happen. So we're going to read down this exciting list. First of all, CCA rocks. They have the only accredited MFA comics program. I mean, who knew that you could get a master's in comics? This is kind of blowing our minds.
I'd also like to thank specifically Matt Sility and Maya Lawrence, without whom this would not have been possible.
They have
busted
so
their ass. Yeah.
Thank you. And I want to thank our keynote speakers, Gengora Tagame and Mariko Tamaki. Are you here? I don't know, but they are phenomenal. They have been so supportive of this program, and their work inspires us all daily. So thank you, both of you, for being here.
Also, the folks handling the book sales. So Prism Comics, Ted Abenheim, Tara Avery, Anusha Sility. Thank you all for making that possible.
And thank you all for selling your books here. That really makes a big difference. I want to give a huge shout out to Tyler Cohen, who did the housing committee. We have housed, 22 people here on couches and airbeds and people's closets, and people are sleeping in bathtubs, and I don't know what's going on. But thank you, Tyler. You and Justin also did a hell of a job on that.
Also for the travel fund, Rachel Dukes and Nina Kester, thank you both for putting together an incredible crowdsourcing campaign to bring people here, and everybody who contributed to that and donated to that fund. So thank you. Incredible work.
And a big big juicy shout out to Robert Kirby, who curated the digital exhibit that's in that gorgeous room with the huge, delicious screen. Go see that work. It's so gorgeous to see your work, so large. And Robert put together a really wonderfully thought out show. So thanks, Rob.
Yes. Also, the 40 artists who donated art for the Queer Creatures tote bags, and Zan Christensen of Northwest Press, who made all that possible. So Zan, you're a pillar of the community. Thank you for everything you do.
Yeah, and get those tote bags because they're a limited edition, and 5 years from now, I mean, we've got Tagame's work on there, we got Alison Bechdel, Howard Cruz, Justin, all you beautiful people. You want those tote bags, and get them now because they'll be gone. Who's next? Oh, the Center of Sex and Culture, which is where we all live, who put together the wonderful opening show and the exhibit of Tyler Cohen's Primahood exhibit, and Carol Queen and Dorian Katz helped with that, and thank you for that. That was an incredible exhibit. And
also Kumalicious, which was the show curated by Salvador Hernandez over at Strut. In the Castro for throwing an incredible opening party and drink and draw. So thank you to everyone who was involved with that and all the models who took their clothes off for art. So it was a great party. Thank you.
And you want to do the next
one? Oh, yeah. And also, our first party of the Queers and Comics Week was with Sina Grace and Kevin Sonnensen at Mission Comics. So thank you for doing that as well. That was a fantastic event. So thank you.
And this is going to go on a long time. This took a lot of people to make it happen. Sunday, we're going to have the reading. It's going to be in another section of CCA, so I want you all to come to that. And I really want to thank the producers of that event, Elizabeth Beyer and Akwan Mance. Are they here? This show is going to be really exciting. I encourage you all to come. I know it's kind of early in the morning, but we'll have coffee and pastries. So.
Also, just want to give a shout out to the San Francisco Cartoon Art Museum for everything that they do for this community. It's especially Andrew Farrago, Nina Kester. It's amazing. And please go to visit the museum anytime you're in town in San Francisco. They'll have a new space opening soon.
And a big, juicy shout out to Ann Ishii, who we could not have done this without her. Thank you for your support. Thank you for all your hard work. We love you.
Yeah. Also, the two people who will be introducing the keynote speakers, Andre Carrington, for this keynote introduction, and also for his programming assistance, the last Queers in Comics. And thank you for everything you do. Also, Robbie Alabadine, who will be the keynote presenter for Gengaro Tagame. So thank you to both of those people.
And we want to thank Geeks Out and Joey Stern for their support. They're going to be here. They're a wonderful organization in New York of LGBT comics fans, so check them out.
Emily Sheffer-Jones did the design for everything. She's amazing. Find this woman, and she's amazing. She's actually a grad school student here in the design program, and she busted her ass and did an incredible job. So thank you, Emily. Amazing work. And also to Michael Fahey, who did the original logo design back 2 years ago. So he's Michael Fahey.
And I really want to thank our original hosts, CLAGS, the Center for Lesbian and Gay Studies, and the CUNY Grad Center, because they believed in us when nobody knew what we were, and they made this all happen. And I want to thank Howard Cruz and Alison Bechdel, our first keynote speakers, whose incredible support also gave us a place in the world, because they are so amazing, and their work made us shine. So thanks to Howard. Alison couldn't be here because she's working on deadline, but she did send all her love to all of us. I also want to do a shout out to my wonderful friend Kim Wetzel, who's my assistant, and thank you, darling. You're a motorcycle mama, and you are amazing. And she can work a spreadsheet like nobody.
Also, thank you to Emily Aliko and Christopher Nash, who are the conference widows this year.
Our other halves put up with a lot. And Emily, I love you, and thank you.
I love you too, Nash.
And thanks to all all the volunteers, all the work study, to everybody who works at CCA, who puts up the AV equipment, the people who clean the bathroom. While you're here, tell them we appreciate their work and thank you for having us. They're wonderful hosts.
And just all the spectacular moderators and panelists, all of you for being here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right.
And I want to thank Justin, because I couldn't have done this without him. And I'm teaching him how to be a tough dyke and not to give a shit about it. You know, people say, Jen, are you anxious about it? I says, I don't give a fuck. What am I worried about?
I still have a long way to go in channeling my inner dyke, but I'm working on it.
But Justin, really, you're not only a cartoonist and a teacher and a mentor, and you can get people to do anything, which is really a great skill.
Really?
So thank you. And I think you want to say a few words to everyone.
Well, first, thank you, because you're such an amazing woman, and that created this thing. I mean, also a cartoonist and also a creator and a teacher, and also decided to bust your ass to make this thing happen, which is such a remarkable and kind of magical event. Thank you, Jen. I mean, yeah,
I'm happy.
Incredible. All right, so a few words. So it's just such an honor to be part of this second Queers in Comics. So Jen cornered me at the last one. I've told some of you this. And she told me that in 2 years, it was going to be out in San Francisco at the California College of the Arts, and that I would help her organize it. She kind of cornered me, literally. And Jennifer Camper is not one of those dykes you say no to. You just don't do that. So I was like, yes, ma'am. But it's so wonderful to help her bring her creation here to this remarkable school, which has been such an incredible and supportive place to pursue my passions for both comics and for teaching. And to this city, which even after almost 25 years of living here, continues to delight and amaze me. And remains a beacon for both queers and for artists. San Francisco, with its rich layered history, its diverse cultures, its progressive politics, and its sheer beauty, is the perfect place for an event like this. When I attended the first Queers in Comics conference 2 years ago, I wasn't expecting what I found there. I've been to a lot of comic cons in my life, as a lot of you have, and thought it was going to be more of the same, essentially. But I was unprepared for the emotional impact of being with my big, beautiful tribe of queer cartoonists and scholars, where the focus was not on selling in a hall show, but rather discussing and celebrating the history and legacy and the artistry and storytelling power and the future of queer comics. Where the focus was on building community, on forging alliances and discussing strategies, and on giving each other some well-deserved pats on the back for all we've accomplished over the last several decades. I've been making queer comics for nearly 20 years. I know for many in this room, that's actually a short career, but I found it's not always easy to know if your work matters, if the stories you create fall on the sometimes deaf ears of the world. The sense of validation I felt at the conference was immense. Being in the midst of a gathering of our multiple generations, our diverse identities, our range of storytelling styles and interests, all inspiring and supporting each other, was a profound and visceral revelation. Yes, this work matters. We tell stories of our lives, of the way the world is, and we imagine what it could be. A lot has changed in the 2 years since the last Queers in Comics. In many ways, we're going through a very dark time. I'm ready to keep making comics that are honest and challenging, to tell stories of the world as it is and as it could be, to resist and to celebrate. I think you all are too, and I can't imagine a more fabulous group of people with whom to do that. Thank you.
So I just want to say a few things, because he just said it all. Thank you for coming. I know it's not easy. I know we're all broke. I know we're struggling in these times. There's a lot of people who aren't here right now, and some people couldn't travel. Some people are having a lot of other kinds of issues, and it's important for us to reach out to each other to have this community. I've been asked often in the last 6 months, what's with queers and comics? Why do queers like comics? Why do they make so many comics? Why do they read comics? And my smart-ass answer is, Queers are brilliant and talented, and they're in every art form. But there's also the idea that comics are so accessible, that marginalized people, outside people, can come with a piece of paper and a pencil and create something that's really, really powerful. And with just a Xerox machine or an internet website, they can put that work out into the world. And that means there's not as many gatekeepers with comics. Yes, we have publishers, but we can also self-publish. We don't need a gallery or a museum or a distributor or even a crew of other people. We can do it all ourselves. And I think that's why so many people who are outside the mainstream feel comfortable in comics and feel safe to say things that maybe aren't safe to say other places. That's very precious, and we need to protect that. I'm so fucking happy that you're here. I know it's not easy to put this stuff together, and moving forward, if we're going to go back to New York and do this back and forth thing, we're going to need everybody's help to rethink how to structure this. But building this kind of community is important for our livelihoods. It's important for our lives, especially in times where we are all being under attack. So have fun. I want you to learn from each other. We have 5 decades of cartoonists represented here. There is someone here whose work you read that inspired you. Go up and tell them that. And there's somebody here who read your work, and I hope they tell you that. Justin and I have been thinking about you and reading your stuff and talking about you for months. And I want you to know that you're here in a place where everybody loves you and everybody understands what you're doing. So take advantage of that, get excited, get inspired, and after this, I want you to make more comics for us all. So thank you.